Today, we celebrate 25 years of the legendary Tiger Woods. Hello, I'm Penny Koyak. On Tuesday, February 23rd, I, those close to Tiger, and the entire world were shocked and saddened with the news of Tiger's automobile accident in Los Angeles. The outpouring of affection throughout the PGA Tour and the world of sports illustrates the massive effect Tiger has had on the game of golf. Today we recognize 2.5 decades of impact, which continues to serve as a foundation for the current game. Join us as we delve deeper into the many facets of the Tiger effect, a look through 25 years of archives with first-hand accounts from his peers, as well as the man himself, throughout his storied career. As we are all encouraged by Tiger's updates and continue to wish him well in his recovery, enjoy this look at his triumphs and game-changing moments, which helped shape the landscape of the PGA Tour. The measure of time is simple.
The past is done. We can all learn from it, or it can be a benefit in the future.
Rhythmic, yet powerful strokes, setting the tempo.
I've always been one who likes to break records and push the envelope. I love doing that. There really isn't just one. There's a whole bunch of them, but it's gonna take time.
A physical model of artistry, the pulse of life. But in any instance, it can often seem fast. Insurmountable energy, impossible to keep up with. While other times, slower.
Wow.
And he went down in pain.
Down.
Left wondering, how long? Until the next stroke of genius.
We thought we'd never see it.
Reverting to just the right momentum.
Make room on the mountaintop.
Setting the overall cadence of the present and a heartbeat for the future.
It's ridiculous that 25 years has gone by this quickly. A lot has happened, a lot of great wins.
25 years, I remember watching the 96 Milwaukee, his first start, and watching the hole-in-one.
And he's given us just a little bit of everything out here this week.
Time flies. He's been so remarkable for our game.
Even then, the hype of Tiger Woods led to explosive galleries in his pro debut, and Tiger Mania only evolved from there.
His dominance and his popularity has really sort of, taken hold in the game of golf. It's been an awesome era to be a part of, and the excitement that he's brought to the game has been special.
The list of dominating stats is mind-blowing, and frankly, cannot be contained to one simple list. His career wins, missed cut streak, win percentage are all a small glimpse of the overall supremacy of a living legend. It's been accomplished thanks to pillars of excellence that Tiger himself thrived in. Athleticism, mental fortitude, artistry, helping him mold a lasting legacy on the PGA Tour, but also extending well beyond golf.
Tiger had something totally different that no one else had. Arnold Palmer made the game of golf cool. Tiger really put it on the map in regards to, my generation really wanting to go out and play.
What I've tried to do is hit the best shot I possibly could at each and every moment, and some of them I pulled off, and they made the highlight reel.
Whoa, he hit a bomb. Just killed it.
One of the most impactful facets of Tiger's game was his distance off the tee. As early in his career, he was in a league of his own, consistently in the realm of a 300-yard average.
I'm very lucky in the fact that I've been blessed with it. It's trying to tell Jordan not to jump so high, or Nolan Ryan not to throw at 100 miles an hour. I've just been lucky. It's been natural.
He's always had tremendous power and tremendous speed. Just watching him grow up and the things that he's done has been pretty unbelievable.
I grew up playing baseball, so you play baseball, you're obviously going to have speed. You have to. You got to have hand speed. You got to have hip speed. You got to get that barrel that bat around. So for me, I think that's where it stems from.
boy, he has throated it again.
Greg Nolan was my favorite player, and he was a really aggressive driver, and that was really appealing to me as a kid. But then Tiger took it up a notch really quickly. But I just really liked his aggression and that he just took it to most every golf course.
I was on YouTube the other night and I was watching the 2000 US Open, and that's the pinnacle of hitting it long and hitting it straight.
I'm not sure anybody ever drove the ball better than Tiger Woods in 2000, 2001. What he did at Pebble Beach. Tiger was hitting it farther than anybody at the Masters. You know, it was eye-opening.
That one particular stretch there, I had all 4 majors. And I had the players.
Better than most.
That one little stretch there, I had won every big event.
Some 300 yards away from the tee.
We've heard of tiger proofing, and we know they keep making changes.
Yet even the effects of lengthening courses to counter Tiger's evolving distance were no match. In his first decade on tour, Woods finished in the top 10 in driving distance 9 times. He also finished in the top 30 in total driving in 6 of those seasons, leading to 47 wins in that span.
You can tell when he twirls that club that he likes it.
Have an understanding of executing the golf shot correctly. And then most importantly of all, figuring out your swing when you're not playing well.
Tiger's bravado off the tee has carried over to today's players, who are still navigating the effects of redesigned courses, as distance and the total driving game continue to evolve. Today, nearly 70 players on tour eclipse the 300-yard average off the tee.
343 through the air, Harry.
Back in the day, he was it. He was the golden star. I watched and just in complete awe of going, man, how is he doing this?
Flying at 320 yards and coming out swinging, 130 miles an hour, hitting the stinger, and hitting the cut, and all these different shots were so appealing to me, growing up. Not a lot of guys have done a lot better than him.
No other athlete single-handedly resonates with fans like Tiger Woods does. It's estimated that he contributes to a 35% increase in ratings whenever he plays. Whether he was inspiring legions of new fans to follow the sport or sparking an annual increase in purses, this portion of the Tiger effect was seen early as evidenced by another ace up his sleeve right here on the famed 16th hole at TPC Scottsdale.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
When you have, I guess they said about 60,000 people on that hole or something ridiculous. I got pretty fired up.
It looks like a ticker tape parade.
It's a direct result of him, and golf is, a classic traditional game where it's quiet and polite, but he brought this, the Tiger roar to the game.
The energy of the fans is kind of a crescendo effect. It starts getting louder and louder and louder and louder. And then all of a sudden, this huge explosion happens.
Tiger is very good at, when he does pull off an incredible shot, of doing all the other stuff that make it iconic, playing up to the crowd and all of that stuff. And I think that's what's made him such a fun player to watch through the years.
The power of Tiger. Huge crowds on a Friday afternoon.
When he first came out, he was just so much different than everybody else.
I mean, this is a hero shot if he does it.
What a shot by Woods.
You get bigger crowds, you're getting more energy out there, and the emotions just start to come out, which I think is great for the game.
He made golf so much bigger than it ever had been before. Similar to what Arnold Palmer did when he came on the scene. But we have all sorts of new sponsors because of Tiger. A bigger audience, a global audience.
From the United States, Tiger Woods!
Tiger drives ratings, there's no question about it. You all write and communicate more about the sport when he's around. He brings new viewers to the sport all the time. He absolutely captivates our fan base whether he's winning or losing, and whether he's winning big.
One more World Golf Championship for Tiger.
Not only does it make an impact on golf fans, it reaches all tentacles of the sports marketplace worldwide. He is a global icon. When young kids started watching Tiger Woods, they stopped playing baseball, football, hockey, and they started playing golf. And now he's competing against the very athletes he created. And so his presence is here.
That part I do take, great pride in, and it's very humbling. A lot of these kids who are out here now are playing out here because they saw me play golf, and they thought it's a cool sport to play.
He made it way more entertaining to watch, obviously. So like if you're watching, you're like, man, I want to be like Tiger. So like if more people are watching, more kids are gonna do that.
Having all these wins, it's inspirational. There's motivation behind it. And I think everyone has a different motivation factor out here, but to me, that's motivating to just try and win more.
Golf was a new sport, if you will, for television. A lot of the athletes went and played basketball, football, baseball, where the money was. There wasn't as much money. Now, athletes are playing golf, and the money's there. Tiger changed the game.
It just means that I've come along at the right time. We've had purse increases, we've had a lot of things go our way. TV was booming, and our commissioner did some fantastic deals with TV, and our purses just left by a lot.
When Tiger Woods burst onto the scene in 1996, the average PGA Tour player earned just over $180,000. Fast forward 10 years, and average earnings have jumped to nearly $950,000, an increase of over 420%.
You have played 9 tournaments on the PGA Tour and won $1 million.
I'll take it.
It's just incredible how much it's grown, how big the tour is. And we're talking about the old days when I started of golf really wasn't even on SportsCenter, and it wasn't that big a deal. And now Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson and Rory McIlroy, and obviously Tiger Woods, are superstars in the world of sport, not just in golf.
We all owe Tiger a lot for the money that we get to make today. I think we all got to realize and sit back and appreciate what Tiger's done for us, how much he's helped the game and grow the game. The players all respect him and thank him tremendously for that.
You still got to give credit to some guys before Tiger that almost helped set the stage. Guys from Jack and Arnie to, someone like Greg Norman. And then the stage was set and Tiger was able to kind of make the biggest impact.
His dominance and his popularity has really taken hold in the game of golf. I mean, obviously we've seen the purses skyrocket. I think a lot of us live in nicer houses and drive better cars because of Tiger Woods. So we'll always be grateful to him. He's eaten up a lot of those shares of the purses too. So not going to thank him too much, but it's been an awesome era to be a part of, and the excitement that he's brought to the game has been special.
Well, let's see how fast he goes through this one.
As an athlete, you're always pushing yourself.
Look at that power.
The best ones push themselves beyond human limits. Oh, jeez. They go through different things that most people are unwilling to do.
Brute force right there.
We just clobbered it out of there.
I happen to be one of those guys that pushed my body and pushed my mind to accomplish the things that I knew I could.
Oh my goodness.
I was 16, I was still in cross country and track, just stopped playing baseball. So I wanted to stay fit for golf. That's where fitness came in for me, and also for the fact that I wanted to make sure that I was fit enough to practice for as long as I wanted to. Then again, that fed into itself. The more fit I got, the more I practiced. The more I practiced, the more fit I got. So it was just a vicious circle in a good way that made me a better player.
Look at this. It's unbelievable. Carries the ball past the hole. Look.
I'd like to lift so I could practice more. I didn't try and lift to become faster.
When I first came out on tour, I was running 30 miles a week. I run 5-6 miles and go play a golf tournament, go win a golf tournament. It wasn't that hard.
Just VJ and I. We see each other in the gym. It was just us. There's really no one else.
Good. Come on.
And now, pretty much every player has their own trainer. They have programs in which, it's on their phones, their activation program, pre-round, a post-round lift, or cool down, or whatever it might be. Then they have their cycles when they're not playing, how to work up to events. It's become just like any other sport. It's become more specific. And guys are stronger, better, more athletic, even at an earlier age because of it.
Tiger's kind of shaped the game quite a bit. You're seeing guys come out that are actual athletes. They're ready to go when they come out of college. They're ready to compete and win.
Even with a 3-wood, he's got it out there, 310.
A lot of it had to do with the prep and everything that went into daily life to perform. Not just working out, but prep work that went into being ready to play. I think that had a huge impact. Now you're seeing guys that are more fit or bigger and faster and stronger.
That is absolutely smashed.
Every day I wake up and I go, yes, I feel like I can go faster. I feel like I can swing it faster. It's definitely a huge advantage to be able to hit it really far. So over time, distance is going to win, and I think that being an athlete is transforming the sport into more of a strength competition, which is pretty cool.
I like all aspects of training. I like powerlifting. I like Olympic lifting. I like running. That 30 to 40 minute in and out, high intensity, I spike my heart rate and, feel somewhat athletic for, 30 minutes of the day. I like the way that feels. For me, as I get older, I train to stay healthy. I train to get better. Tiger Woods changed that for everybody. I mean, the way he prepared, the way he dominated the sport, and the way he looked athletic. He looked like a football player, a baseball player, somebody that was coming out there ready to be successful.
The twirl comes quick.
There's no doubt Tiger was well ahead of the curve in terms of the evolution of the athlete in golf, fine-tuning his strength and flexibility to enhance the success in his game. That's something many other athletes in the sports world can certainly appreciate.
I see the evolution in golf as the Tiger Woods effect. Golf wasn't associated with fitness. When he came on the scene, he was lean, streamlined, and he hit it a long way. So everybody started saying, wait a second, maybe if I can get myself in better shape, it will give me an advantage on the course.
In my mind, he's the greatest of all time. Right when I got into golf is when, he came out of Stanford. So as long as I've been playing golf, he's always been the best.
I've seen Tiger practice, and obviously we've seen him perform, and it's never enough. He has this insatiable desire to challenge the standards that were set before him and set new standards that will be chased by many a generation after him.
This is a guy, when he's playing golf, he wants to win. He just doesn't want to finish in the top 10 or finish in the top 5. He wants to win every tournament that he's in. And as an athlete, that's why I tune in.
When he was playing, I would tape the Thursday, Friday, and then go home and watch it at night, then tape it Saturday, Sunday, watching every time he played, no matter what.
Look at this scene.
I saw a picture, he was walking up the hill, and there was like 20,000 people following him. And that's the impact he's had on golf.
Tiger really changed the game for a lot of people. He's already considered one of the best of all time. Having the ability to have that clutch gene when people doubt you, how are you going to react when you face adversity? So I believe those are some of the characteristics of being a GOAT, and he's definitely a GOAT.
Tiger Woods, a winner again, number 80.
His determination, his hunger
You can see it on the golf course. I'm sure he's expecting a lot of himself, but you know, GOATs are like that. That's what it's all about. You know, we never get to a point where we feel like we have arrived. We want more.
What he was able to accomplish for so many years, and I think the boom of golf for African Americans now is more than ever because of his success. And I think he just ignites the love for the game.
You have to have not only the drive, but you got to have the heart. And I think more importantly, you got to have guts to hit some of the shots that you have to hit down a stretch.
The back nine on Sunday is often where we witness Tiger's acts of brilliance, displaying each of his unique tools needed to close out yet another victory. In conjunction with his prodigious power, Tiger also possesses a legendary iron game, especially when it requires his artist touch.
I felt I was creative. I maneuver the golf ball. When I grew up with that blotted ball and moving the golf ball around. And even though the balls don't move as much, I still play shots. And I still try and maneuver the golf ball just a touch.
Shots I remember in particular are him at Augusta around the trees, approach shots, spinning them into flags and shaping them.
He was one of the greatest scramblers of all time, from the fairway or from around the green. So if he knew he hit one offline, par was still definitely in play, and maybe even birdie.
No one had ever really been long, had control with the irons, and had an incredible short game and wedge game. All in one package. There was always the sense there was a slight trade-off. If you were really long, you probably weren't going to have the greatest touch. And here Tiger was kind of defying everything and saying you can be everything. And so I think that was the real allure of this figure. Maybe we got the perfect golfer finally. You know, let's see what he can do.
His short game historically is one of the best of all time. I think his golf game is probably the best of all time.
I don't think Tiger has any weaknesses in his game. I really don't. He's got a great short game, which is why he's won so many tournaments, so many major championships.
It didn't matter what he did, it was always going to go on the hole or near the hole. It was so awesome to watch him, you know, through the years.
His chip at Augusta, you know, that will go down as, you know, top 10 best shots all time.
How about in? Oh, what a shot!
You could spend a whole segment on Tiger's most memorable shots.
What a touch. No way.
Oh my gosh. That was incredible.
I'll tell you, I've seen it all today. This is unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
With a lot of the Tiger unbelievable moments, there's like a mix in the inflection in everyone's voice where there's like, you have to be kidding me.
That is unthinkable. Wow.
And also, are we even really that surprised? It's Tiger, we've seen it before.
He's doing it in style, isn't he?
When nobody expects him to, that means everyone should expect him to, and that seems to be where he thrives.
Better than most.
Tiger's originality also left its mark in the form of his signature celebration.
The fist pump just comes out. I don't do what the NFL guys do and do all this choreography prior to how they're going to celebrate a touchdown. It just comes out, and how it comes out, they're all varied. They're all different.
A move now emulated by those he once inspired.
Tiger taught us all how to do that type of stuff. You know, he's the Dr. J and the Michael mixed in one. You know, he taught us how to slam dunk, crossover, all that stuff. We learned from Tiger, and he made it big. So we're just carrying the torch now.
Guys can hit all the shots that he can hit, but it's more that, you know, pulling those off at the right time. Tiger happened to make a handful of those putts through his prime.
He'll make a lot of those before he's done.
I
think I've had a pretty good career.
And the legend grows.
I won my share of tournaments making some putts.
And another example of how great a closer he has turned into at the age of 24.
You drive for show and you putt for dough. And Tiger's putting has been absolutely marvelous.
What do you think about that?
Unbelievable. He's exemplified that if you want to be a champion, you've got to have a great short game.
They wouldn't win if they weren't great putters. I mean, Tiger was as great a putter as I've ever seen under pressure.
Something that Jack has always alluded to is that you have to understand how to keep yourself in the tournament, and you never know what can happen at the end. The whole idea is to be there each and every time, and if you are there each and every time, just like Jack has seemed like he was, you're going to win your share.
He had the hat off before it dropped, Gary.
Unbelievable.
Tiger is a guy to me, if I have a 10-footer I have to make, I'd rather put the putter in his hand. I always wanted the putter in my hand, too. Same type of thing. I felt like I had a better chance than anybody else of making that putt, and I think he has a better chance of making that putt.
Tiger's knack for finding the bottom of the cup derived from the early teachings of his father, Earl.
You know, one thing my father's always told me, I've never lost sight of this. I'll never forget when he said it to me. I was about 5 years old. You know, at the time I was starting to get some media coverage in Southern California, and evidently he didn't want to have it all go to my head at a young age. And he says, well, who's going to make the 4-footer for you? I said, there's no one. He says, is the media going to make it for you? No. Am I going to make it for you? No. Mom? No. Your dog? No. And I said, it's me. He says, always remember that. There's no one out there but yourself. You know inside yourself, what it takes to win and what it takes to play well.
Pretty remarkable conversation that Tiger had with his dad at the age of 5.
Yeah. My 5-year-old, I'm just telling him to pick up his clothes and, remember, when to do the homework and such.
Those early conversations also included Tiger's desire to use golf as a vehicle to give back.
Even then, we knew that he was going to be an ambassador to golf, so the Tiger Woods Foundation was created.
The stuff that Tiger Woods and the TGR Foundation have done is unbelievable. Obviously, the sustain what they've done is amazing.
Keep the hands as far away from your head as possible. Why have such talent and have that go to waste when you can help other people and share what you've learned in life?
This is something I've always looked forward to and to doing my entire life, is helping out kids, and especially inner city kids, because they've always been told, no, they can't do it, no, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Our number one objective is if they want to play golf, great, but we're trying to boost their self-esteem.
We wanted to impact the world beyond the golfing community. Golf is a component, yes, but at the end of the day, we're not trying to produce great golfers. We're trying to produce great human beings. And over the last 25 years, I think we've had a pretty significant impact in that.
In 2006, TGR Foundation opened the TGR Learning Lab and launched the Earl Woods Scholar Program, broadening Tiger's impact on the next generation.
25 years ago, I was just coming out here on tour, and internet wasn't quite there yet. STEM wasn't really a thing. Fast forward 25 years, I would not have foreseen us reaching over 2 million kids and having learning labs or all the different STEM curriculum that we now produce. We're trying to create these different pathways for kids to have better lives. Pathways Forward, it's about creating ways that kids can't dip into our curriculum that we have, or we make our learning labs better with new state-of-the-art equipment. Technology is changing so fast and so rapidly. We're trying to make sure that these kids are prepared and ready for it. Fast forward 25 years, I won't be playing golf. Will I be more involved for the foundation? Absolutely. Will we have helped millions more kids? Yes. Where will we be operating? Around the world. These first 25 years was setting us up. Now we're gonna have a global impact.
think Tiger Woods' greatest weapon is his mind. His power of will and concentration and be able to step up to the plate at the right moment was very similar to Jack Nicklaus.
You never know exactly what makes somebody great, but I think that it's somewhere in their heart and in their brain. They have a little bit more desire than somebody else. They have a little bit more guts than somebody else. They work a little harder. They try a little harder. They believe a little harder. All those things, I would say, happen to fall in the category of Tiger Woods.
He's always thinking about how to construct the next golf shot. And it's not just, oh, I'm gonna hit this and then I just kind of walk and smell the roses. He's always thinking about trying to improve his performance.
You've hit bad shots, good shots, but some of the situations that I look back upon, I made a bad mistake there mentally. I should have fired at this pin. No, I should have fired away from this pin. And that I can take and apply that. Because I know physically my game will keep improving because I'll keep working at it. But your mind is something you got to really be on top of.
A lot of resolve on that face, wasn't there?
Arguably, nowhere has highlighted Tiger's ability to think his way around a golf course like Augusta National, dating back to his first Masters victory in 1997.
I go on the golf course and not a good start. And then I make a nice bogey putt on 9 to shoot 40. And all of a sudden it flips. I not only get to even par, but I also get a couple more. Posting 70 for the day just gave me so much momentum. And then I roll on the weekend.
That strength of mind has proven constant in Tiger's conquests, whether in his first green jacket or his fifth.
There wasn't one of those defining 20-foot putts where he's able to raise the putter in the air and give you the pumped fist. Tiger was able to win it with his mind.
I always thought, as gifted and skilled as Tiger Woods is, the reason that he was so successful is he wanted it so much. Jack Nicklaus wanted it so much. Ben Hogan wanted it so much. It's a lot more than skill. It's a lot more than talent. It's a lot about desire.
It's also the desire to summon the superb mental strength and fortitude when the physical was at its weakest.
That's got to be putting pressure on that lower back.
He doesn't pick up his tee. Billy Horschel comes down and helps him out.
For him, as a competitor, as a player, and as one of the best players to ever live, winning is all that matters. And it's deep down inside. It doesn't matter how many injuries.
Wow. And he went down in pain.
Down. It doesn't matter how many setbacks you have.
We thought we'd never see it. Tiger Woods, a winner again, number 80.
Not only does it mean a lot, but I think that especially my friends who are athletes, they appreciate it because they understand what it's like to have an injury and understand what it's like to fight that hard and claw back up there and climb the mountain again.
Coming back, you have to win, and you're not happy until you win.
Make room on the mountaintop. Tiger Woods has matched Sam Snead with 82 PGA Tour wins, the most of all time.
Understanding how to play with what I have, understanding how to build my game, how to build a golf swing around it, and how to manage my game, which is different than what I've had in the past. Acknowledging that, accepting it, and forging a different way of playing and figuring it out has been a process and something that it's been hard, but I've enjoyed it as well. But also having the ability to compete again at this level, I didn't know if I could do it again.
Tiger Woods with another victory.
I think it'll have an effect on everybody's game who's really serious about being a champion. Tiger has that attitude. He comes out and he expects to win. And if you don't play your best golf, he's going to beat you. And I think he's going to motivate a lot of guys to give that little bit extra.
He has said, I love that feeling of having everybody come after me.
The whole reason I'm playing golf is basically because of Tiger. His competitiveness, his mental drive, the way he just it always seemed like he willed it in, whether he had his stuff or not. You know, as a little kid, you're like, how cool would that be to have that intimidation factor or whatever it might have been, the Tiger effect.
That was the fearlessness that Tiger brought in the game. It was like, go for it, go for it, go for it. And that propelled them to where they are right now.
I heard Tiger say once in an interview, he said once he got on the lead, his goal was to never go back to the field, to have the view field catch him. And that's the same thing I thought today. As soon as I got on the lead, my mind was still forward on myself, on keep doing birdies and just keep going on.
It's one thing to beat this great field, it's another thing to pull away from the pack.
This side of the Tiger effect is evident in the tour's current climate, a phenomenon that instilled a belief in today's rising stars, who expect to win early and often.
I came around right at the time when you had YouTube, and a lot of my tournaments and my tournament wins were downloaded, or they were captured and watched. You could see virtually all my shots at every event, and hence you can get an understanding and a pattern and pick and choose what the part of my game you liked, didn't like.
How about that, huh?
Shorten the curve up of learning just by watching. And so a lot of these kids who made it out here now have seen me, basically grow up on the tour.
I think I've seen every video on YouTube about Tiger. Every shot that's ever to be seen on the internet, I've probably seen it. Just because you can learn from all these great things that all these great players have done and use them to yourself.
Go in. Oh!
He has come back from as many as 7 down today.
Just amazing.
Access to Tiger highlights changed the game for younger generations. But so too did Tiger becoming accessible himself, as seen through his relationships with several of today's top players.
I played with Tiger when he was going through his prime. It's fun to play against him because you realize the killer instinct he had when you were playing in his prime. He still has that now, but he's just a softer Tiger Woods. And I'm not saying that in a competitive standpoint, it's just more so as the person. That's how I've become really good friends with him.
Tiger's definitely changed a lot in the last few years. I think he was a bit more maybe serious, kind of standoffish, did his thing and took care of his business. He's a lot different person now, and it's been fun to get to know Tiger and be around him because he is one of the most influential people in this game.
This is the way the game of golf is. We are able to compete and play in it for decades. I was lucky enough to have had some great players who took me under their wing when I first came out, and been incredible, 25 years of doing this.
Legacy is not defined by a number of accolades, nor is it bound by a distinct moment in time.
I've always been one who likes to break records and push the envelope. I love doing that. And because of that, I don't see myself ever living in the past, because the past is done. I just would rather just keep winning and keep playing well.
Legacy is measured by the moments that transcend time and the impact they leave on generations to come.
When I was growing up, he's always such a big name in golf. Sometimes I feel like we've taken it for granted.
He's not just winning these tournaments by 1 or 2 shots. He's lapping the field, and because of that dominance, he's arguably the best player of all time right now.
I've been fortunate enough to play through Tiger's era and to see him at his best. But I'm sure he's got his eyes on building his legacy post-golf. He's already made a name for himself with golf course design.
It goes back to access. How do we create more accessibility, not just for minorities, but for all of our youth and for women? And how do we make our game that is so great more diverse? We need more public facilities, because the game of golf is stagnant in our growth. Paynes Valley is our first public golf course.
Public golf courses are paramount to our growth in our sport. I grew up on public golf courses. That's
how my introduction to the game was. And, public access is something that we're trying to foster for more youth participation.
Tiger's designs often draw inspiration from the Melbourne Sandbelt, a region that bookended his dominant 20-plus year President's Cup career, leaving his mark as a player.
Warm reception for Tiger Woods.
And ultimately, as a playing captain. Where those who grew up watching the intimidating force experienced Tiger as their leader in 2019.
Tiger Woods doing Tiger Woods things.
Being part of the team for over 20 years, to be associated with and to play for a lot of these different personalities, there's different ways to lead.
It's a different role now. He's a little bit more of a friendly leader, vet, versus the kind of fierce competitor that he once was.
Tiger likes to win. We've been very fortunate on the American side to be very successful in the President's Cup, but off the golf course, he's a great guy.
Tiger loves to laugh and joke around, but when it's time to lead or play, like, it's all business for him. He's got a job to do. He wants to get it done.
Captain Tiger Woods will celebrate this one for a long, long time.
To come here and to do it with this team in particular, it was an honor for me as a player, and it's even more of an honor to be their captain.
While Tiger, the teammate, revealed a tamer side of the fierce competitor, fatherhood has peeled back yet another layer.
I've seen him around his kids. That seems to be a huge anchor in his life and something he gives a lot of time to away from the game.
He's going to spend a lot of time with his kids, with Sam and playing soccer. And then I think a big part will be, him and Charlie with golf.
Golf has become a centerpiece in our family. Charlie got bit by the bug just like I got bit by the bug a long time ago. It's fun to, I'm watching him trying to create shots. Dad, what do I need to do so I can shoot in the 70s? What do I need to do so I can shoot under par? Always there next to my dad, listening to him, and now my son is asking me questions that I was asking my dad. So seeing it from a different lens is pretty cool.
The legacy of perhaps the greatest to ever play, now sharing that same love of golf with his son Charlie, is one we cannot wait to see unfold. As we wish Tiger well in his recovery, we look forward to seeing his future involvement with the game, continuing to shape his impact well beyond 25 years. I'm Henny Koyak. Thanks for watching PGA Tour Originals 25 Years of Tiger.
Hopefully when my career is all said and done, I can look back and know that I made a positive difference in the game of golf.
I had a love for what I did. I dedicated myself to that love, and I was very passionate about what I did. Took great honor and great pride, and I think it paid off.
We've witnessed a lot of unbelievable achievements that he's had in his career. And will we ever see another player like that? Maybe, maybe not.
There's never going to be another Tiger, but we're in a great position because there's a lot of young talent that's really, really good that's going to carry the torch.
Tiger, Michael Jordan, they're up in that upper echelon that no one else has ever touched.
Some of the guys out here, I've tried to help them along the way. It's been a pretty neat ride. I had a lot of support in my life that allowed me to chase after my dream.